Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second episode of Your Daddy Issues Gaming, a channel where I get to share my love of gaming as well as some wisdom from me, a dad who's also a lifelong gamer. I'll also be sharing some stories in hopes that some of you will find them interesting, insightful, funny, or not at all. And you know what? That's a-okay. Anyway, enough squawking, let's dive right in. So today I chose to play the classic arcade game Superman. Now, Superman games have always gotten a bad rap over the years. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Superman 64. And for those of you too young, check it out if you can on YouTube or if you can pick up the game, but you've been warned. Anyway, this game came out in 1988, and I used to watch the Saturday morning cartoon that came out during this time as well. Now, the cartoon was a really good cartoon. It was animated by Ruby Spears. It lasted for like one season, 13 episodes, but it was such a well animated TV show, and it was like one of the best animated superhero shows that I've seen up until that time. Now, I also chose this game because I remember my brother and we would play it while waiting for our bus at the Greyhound bus station to go visit my dad in Richmond, Virginia. We lived in Washington, D.C., and he lived in Richmond, Virginia. So it was a couple hours ride, but we would hang out in the bus terminal waiting for the next bus. And yeah, that's pretty much what you did with an 8 and a 9-year-old. You just put them on a bus and hope for the best. 80s kids, what can I say? Anyway, I loved that this was a Superman game. But what I loved the most was that it was a two-player simultaneous game. Now, I understand that's not a big deal these days, but believe me when I tell you, in the 80s, this was a huge deal. There were not a lot of games that allow two players to play at the same time that wasn't split screen, like you both are on the screen at the same time. Two games come to mind that I can think of is Ikari Warriors and Contra. Those are the two games that come to mind, and those are the games that it was always so much more advantageous to have a second player playing with you, because it just made those grindy bullet hell levels just so much simpler when you had someone covering your behind, you know. So yeah, it was a huge deal back in the day. Now, even though I love going to visit my dad, I looked forward the most to playing this game in the bus terminal. You know, and it was also one of those rare times that my brother and I will play a game together. Now, he was not a gamer, not like I was a gamer. I think he tolerated games, but he just really wasn't a gamer, which is insane because we're only 1.5 years apart. So we're right smack in the middle of the Nintendo era. And he just was not a gamer, but you know, we would play this game together, and he really enjoyed playing this game with me. Now, this game was definitely a quarter muncher. It was so repetitive, and the hits and enemies, they were so cheap. But man, let me tell you, it was so much fun. I needed to make sure that before my mom dropped us off. Oh yeah. Oh, let me back up a little bit. So yeah, my mother would drop us off at the Greyhound station, at the Greyhound bus terminal, and leave, you know, just hoping that we would get on the right bus on time. You know, no adult supervising us whatsoever. Just drop us off, get on the bus, go see your dad. Again, 80s kids, what can I say? But anyway, I digress. Before she left, I always made sure that I would get some quarters from her, or at least $1.25, and I'll just make change in a little quarter machine. But I always made sure to get quarters from her because, again, this game was a quarter muncher. And the unfortunate thing about playing a two-player simultaneous game is that usually when the other player dies or you yourself die and you're out of lives, that's it. You're out of lives. My brother, again, who was not a gamer, he wasn't really good at this game. So when he died, it was just like, Yeah, I may have another quarter, but I'm gonna keep this to myself. And believe me when I tell you, at 8 years old, $1.25 in quarters was a lot of money. How else was I gonna get $1.25? I had to get it from my mom. It's not like I can go work for it. Maybe I could. Maybe they still hired kids in the 80s. Maybe that's just something I never looked into. Anyway, so when my brother would die, he was just dead. Like I would just have to continue this repetitive game by myself. And the ending to this game is so anticlimactic. Again, these levels are so repetitive. Like, as I look back on them now as an adult, I can see, oh my gosh, it's the exact same setup, the exact same enemies, the exact same beginning, middle, and end. But what I did love the most, as I'm appreciating this game more as an adult, I can see these different gameplay aspects. So you can go from a puncher brawler game to a shooter. It's also got like this R-type Gradius thing going on the shooter levels, and that's something like now as an adult I really do appreciate about this game. But yeah, this game, it brings back so many memories, and even playing it now, playing the game now, it makes me think of those those days of being in this scary bus terminal, this shady bus terminal with just my brother and I. But all I could focus on was this game. And, unfortunately now my brother, he's no longer with us, but, as I play this game, it reminds me of him. It reminds me of those good times. It reminds me of those times, that one of those rare times that he would actually play a game with me. And yeah, so this game will always just have a special place in my heart. And I don't think I can say anything else about it. So let me know what you think about this game. Did you play it as a child? Do you have some or hold some special memory about it, or was it one of those games that you just love to hate because it was so cheap, so repetitive? Or what were your experiences like with it, or any other arcade game for that matter? So I would love to hear about it. Thank you for sticking around. If you like the content, go ahead and smash that like button. Go ahead and subscribe if you're just clicking on this video. We'll really appreciate it. And yeah, I can't wait to see you guys next time, and let's see what I have up my sleeve for the next time. All right, peace. I hope you didn't think I was going to leave you hanging. Okay, here's the ending. Like I said, it's very anticlimactic. The enemies are cheap. It's repetitive. I spent probably about $10 in virtual quarters, something 8-year-old me never would have been able to do. I mean, what I look like? I come from a 2-income household. Give me a break. The ending is also confusing. It's like, who are they? Who are we? What are we talking about? Like, the translation on these games were hilarious. Anyway, enjoy the ending. If you like the video, smash the like, subscribe. See you next time.